And he said, I want to do that. And he prayed the prayer with her, and then he went back into his dementia. And she went the following day, which was her normal day, and his bed was empty. He'd gone home in the night.
Really?
Yes.
And she'd been going faithfully for a long time to visit that man, hadn't she? And said there'd been no response all the time she'd been going until that once.
Joyce, was that what you were thinking the answer would be?
Wonderful, wonderful. Bless you all.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, bless you, Joyce. May you continue to get better.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay,
Amen.
bless you now. I think so many other places we can go, and I'm sure there are other things that you want to bring in, so please do on this. And I know in a program like this we're only opening up the areas, and you know, people can contact us for more information as we go through. But someone has said that dementia is like an invisible plague because sufferers and their carers withdraw from social contact and their churches forget about them. What can we do about that?
Well, as churches, first of all, it's, you know, sometimes people can slip out of the net, as it were. You know, people, if we go back to this, that majority of elderly people who are caring for their loved one with dementia, it can take them an age just to get them both ready to get to church services. Yes. And then when they get there, there are all these hurdles. What if he needs the toilet? If we're a little bit late in, we might be sat right at the front. Will he be able to get to the toilet before he needs to get to the toilet? Will I be disturbing him? And these are the problems that very often then people will stop going to church, because they're having so many problems getting to church, having the problems when they get there, when they face, you know, and the anxiety, and they think, well, is it worth it? So may stop coming to church. So really it's then for the church family to be aware, to be watching, and to be meeting that need before it starts, really, and to get alongside that couple and say, not for all the church to be involved, but maybe 2 or 3 who are sensitive, who might be able to say, well, we'll save you a place here near the toilet. And if he needs to go, we've got Mr. So-and-so ready, and we'll just give him a nod and he'll come and take him. Don't worry about it. Having those things, practical things, lined up ready. And maybe a lift to church. And if people are giving lifts to elderly people, can I please encourage them to be punctual? Old people are punctual. If you're not there on time, they will have taken the hat and coat off and will not come.
And also to be patient. Punctual and patient.
Yes.
You
need time.
Dump them in the car and dash off.
No, you need time to get them in. Allow an extra 20 minutes at least to what you would normally have yourself. So doing that, having things in place, and for the church to be watching for those problems.
Okay. Got a couple of callers on the line. I think we can come back to that in a little bit. June, first of all, from Hampshire. Good afternoon, June. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, June.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
What can we do for you today?
Yes, it's about my sister. The family is quite concerned. We don't know whether she's got early signs of dementia. Her daughter did take her to the doctors, and she didn't do very well on the memory test, like the year. She thought it was 1908. But she then went for a scan, and that proved to be fine. But what we're not sure about is, does early signs of dementia, does it affect your social skills? Because she seems to have lost those. She doesn't join in conversation. She makes statements that are out of context with what we're talking about, and we just wondered, you know, it's her whole behaviour. And she doesn't remember. She keeps asking me if I remember the war, which I don't really. And she was 73 last Friday, and she went out. Her daughter took her out. Well, then her other daughter phoned her, and she couldn't remember where she'd been and what she'd been doing.
Okay, Louise, would you say something?
I found the passage in the book that I was looking for earlier. This is from Tom Kitwood, who was the leading expert on the care of dementia before he died. And he says there can be substantial neuropathy neuropathology, in other words, brain damage, without dementia, and there can be dementia without significant neuropathology. So it does sound withdrawing from social connections, thinking that it's 1908, not doing well on the memory test. It does sound as though she may be heading in that direction, because a diagnosis of dementia isn't a swift thing. It's not like, as I said earlier, seeing a broken leg. It's as much based on the behaviour and the skills that the person is exhibiting as on the brain scan. As I said earlier, many people who have their brains autopsied as they're part of a programme have evidence of brain damage, but they've never shown any signs of dementia. So it does sound as though you need to keep your eye on her.
Yes, yes.
What you, the lady's daughter could do, she can go and speak to the doctor herself.
Yes.
They obviously can't divulge any confidential information, but she can certainly ask for a meeting so that she can voice her concerns, have a list written down, the things that are happening, so that the doctor is really kept aware of how the lady is managing or not managing. That's what I did with my own mother first, a year before I actually took my mother to see her GP with her memory problems. And they were very, very understanding. I mean, again, all GPs, you know, have difficult jobs and heavy workloads. My mother is very blessed with an understanding GP. But you are entitled to go and ask more questions and to be reassured in that way. You know, even if at first you don't seem to get anywhere, then go back. Sometimes you have to keep knocking on doors to get anywhere.
I think too, thinking about something you told me, to put in place now things that will help your sister, a clock with a calendar and a date, and maybe the sort of reminders that would be relevant to her, to start to think, to put in place things now in these early stages that will help her.
And June, if you need more help on that, please come through to the office. You can pick up more of the details of the various websites and contacts that you can have. And so if you need further expert help and loving, caring help as you move on, please don't hesitate to make contact with us again.
Right, lovely. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, June. Someone is texting, Sue, could you please talk about HIV-related dementia? Are there differences?
It's
very real way.
There are differences, but whatever the cause of the dementia, I said there are up to 100 causes of dementia. Now, if she Googles in HIV dementia, that will take her to part of the Alzheimer's website that has information on that, and to a lot. It is, even alcoholics. Alcoholism.
Boxers,
there's a big there's a big concern.
It's different things can produce
absolutely
the dementia.
Big concern about the upcoming generation of so-called baby boomers is that a lot of them are heavy drinkers.
Right.
So when
is that going to produce something?
That's going to produce another wave. So